Doctors are shocked. One common vegetable, something you've probably eaten hundreds of times in your life, could quietly raise your stroke risk overnight. I know that sounds impossible, but new research has doctors stunned and seniors confused. How could a vegetable, something we were always told is healthy, suddenly become dangerous? My friend, I want you to sit back, relax, and listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you could save your life or the life of someone you love. I've been a doctor for over 20 years and I've seen many strange things, but this one surprised even me. We used to believe that all vegetables were good for your heart, good for your brain, good for your blood. But as our patients got older, we started noticing something disturbing. Many seniors who followed perfect diets were still showing signs of blood thickening, high blood pressure, and even mini-strokes. They were doing everything right, eating salads, drinking smoothies, taking walks, and yet their health suddenly changed. It didn't make sense until we looked deeper. It turns out some vegetables that are perfectly healthy for young people can quietly turn harmful for seniors. Why? Because after 60, your body doesn't process things the same way. Your metabolism slows down, your arteries stiffen. Your kidneys can't flush out excess minerals as fast as before. So what used to nourish your body can now overload it. There's one vegetable in particular that's become the center of attention among doctors. Something so common, so trusted that no one ever questions it. But this vegetable, eaten in the wrong amount or at the wrong time, can silently thicken your blood while you sleep. And that's when disaster happens. I remember one of my patients, a kind man named Harris, 67 years old. Retired schoolteacher, full of energy. He walked every day, drank plenty of water, and ate what he believed was the healthiest diet possible. Every night he boiled a small bowl of spinach with olive oil. No salt, no butter, nothing unhealthy. Just pure green goodness. He thought he was protecting his heart. But one morning, his wife found him sitting on the bed, unable to move his right arm. He tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come out. We rushed him to the hospital, and the scan confirmed it. A mild stroke. Now, Harris didn't smoke, didn't drink, had no serious heart disease, his cholesterol was fine, his sugar was normal. So what went wrong? When we checked his diet, the answer became clear. It was the spinach, every single night for years. Spinach is rich in something called oxalates and nitrates. These are natural plant compounds, but in the body of an older adult they can act differently. They can increase blood pressure, make platelets stickier, and slow down blood flow. If you're slightly dehydrated or have weaker kidneys, those compounds can build up in your system overnight. And when that happens, the blood becomes thicker, heavier, slower. When blood slows down, it clots more easily. A small clot can travel to the brain, block oxygen, and cause a stroke. And that's exactly what happened to Harris. He thought he was eating healthy, but the food he trusted had quietly turned against him. Spinach isn't the only culprit. Beetroot is another. It looks vibrant, powerful, full of nutrients, but it's also high in nitrates. In small amounts, it's fine. But if your blood pressure is unstable or your arteries are stiff, beets can cause sudden drops or spikes in blood pressure. One of my older patients fainted in her kitchen one morning after having beetroot juice for dinner the night before. Her blood pressure had dropped so low that she almost lost consciousness. The truth is, as we age, our body becomes more sensitive to even natural foods. The balance that used to protect us can shift against us. Your blood vessels can't expand or contract as quickly. Your kidneys can't filter out excess compounds like before. And your liver might take longer to clear the nitrates. So something as small as a bowl of green vegetables can suddenly become a burden instead of a blessing. This is what's shocking doctors everywhere. For decades, we believed vegetables were the safest food group. We told everyone to eat more greens, eat more color, and avoid processed foods. But now we're realizing that healthy doesn't always mean safe for seniors. Your body changes with time, and after 60, even small choices can have big consequences. I don't want you to panic. You don't have to stop eating these vegetables forever, you just have to eat them smarter. Timing and portion matter more than ever. If you love spinach or beets, eat them in the morning or early afternoon, when your body is more active and can handle them better. Avoid eating them late at night, when your blood circulation slows down and your hydration level drops. And never eat them every single day. Give your body a break to balance itself. Water is your strongest defense. Hydration keeps your blood thin, smooth, and clean. Most seniors I treat don't drink enough water, especially in the evening. That's one of the biggest reasons blood gets thick at night. I always tell my patients, before you sleep, drink a small glass of water. It's the simplest, cheapest, and most powerful medicine you'll ever take. Now, if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, aspirin, or similar medications, you need to be extra cautious. Spinach, kale, and other green vegetables are rich in vitamin K, which can interfere with how those medicines work. That means your blood can become either too thick or too thin overnight. Both are dangerous. That's why you should never change your diet drastically without checking with your doctor first. Your body gives signals before something serious happens. Lightheadedness in the morning, headaches that fade after breakfast, numbness in the hands or face, sudden fatigue. These are not just age. They're whispers from your body, warning that your blood isn't flowing as it should. Listen to those signs, don't ignore them. I once had a patient who told me, "Doctor, every time I eat spinach or beet soup at night, I feel heavy in the morning." I told her to stop eating them for a week. She came back a few days later and said, "I feel lighter, I sleep better, I wake up fresh." Sometimes the body heals quickly once we stop giving it the wrong fuel. It's not about fear, it's about wisdom. Food is powerful, it can heal or it can harm. The same spinach that built your strength in youth can challenge your heart in old age. Your body changes, so your diet must change too. What worked for you 20 years ago might not work today, and that's not weakness, that's nature. If you start paying attention, you'll notice the difference almost immediately. When your blood is flowing freely, your mind feels sharper. Your sleep improves, your heartbeat feels steady, and your energy returns. You'll wake up with clarity instead of confusion, calm instead of heaviness. That's what balance feels like. So tonight, before you eat, pause for a moment, look at your plate. Ask yourself, is this food going to help my blood flow or slow it down? That simple question could protect your brain, your heart, and your future. The truth that's shaking the medical world right now is simple. Age changes everything, even how vegetables work inside you. The key is to work with your body, not against it. Eat wisely, hydrate often, rest deeply, and never stop learning what your body needs. In the next part, we'll talk about a few other vegetables that look harmless but can silently raise your stroke risk. And I'll share the foods that do the exact opposite. Those that clean your arteries, improve circulation, and protect your brain from stroke naturally. Because understanding what to eat and when to eat it can make the difference between sickness and strength. I know that what I told you in the last talk might have surprised you. A vegetable raising stroke risk overnight. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But the truth is, your body after 60 reacts very differently than before. What once kept you healthy can now create hidden dangers without a single warning. And that's why today I want to open your eyes even more. Because spinach and beets aren't the only vegetables with this secret side. There are others. Quiet, innocent-looking foods that sit on your plate like friends but behave like silent stress for your blood vessels. You see, strokes rarely come out of nowhere. They build quietly over time inside your arteries. The real cause isn't just cholesterol, it's inflammation, dehydration, and certain foods that thicken your blood or make your arteries constrict at the wrong time. For seniors, that timing is everything. And that's why even some vegetables can do harm if eaten the wrong way. One of them is celery. Yes, celery. The vegetable that people juice for detox, that fitness gurus call a miracle food. Celery is rich in natural salts, and in a young body, those salts are fine. But in a senior body, especially one with high blood pressure, they can create a dangerous pressure spike. I had a patient once who drank celery juice every morning for 2 weeks. On the 14th day, she came in dizzy. Her blood pressure 170/100. She couldn't understand why. When I told her the truth, she stared in disbelief. Celery may clean the kidneys, yes, but it can also dehydrate and tighten blood vessels if you already have fragile circulation. Another vegetable that worries me is kale. Everyone says it's a superfood, and for younger people it really is. But kale is also very high in vitamin K, just like spinach. That means if you're on blood thinners, kale can quietly interfere with your medicine. It makes your blood more likely to clot, not less. So I've seen seniors who proudly tell me they eat kale smoothies every day, thinking they're helping their heart. Yet their blood tests show thickening and higher clotting risk. It's not their fault. No one told them that after 60, even superfoods come with limits. And then there's cabbage, harmless, right? Cooked, raw, pickled, it's in so many homes. But cabbage, when eaten in large amounts, can increase sodium retention in your body. That extra sodium traps water inside your blood vessels, and pressure rises. If you eat cabbage or sauerkraut late at night, that pressure can stay high for hours while you sleep. Combine that with dehydration, and you've got the perfect setup for a mini-stroke before sunrise. I once had a patient, 71 years old, named Farida. She was sweet, active, and always proud of her home-cooked meals. Every night she had boiled cabbage and a little rice, simple, light, nothing fancy. But for 3 weeks straight, she woke up with a dull headache. She thought it was lack of sleep. When we checked her pressure, it was dangerously high. We adjusted her diet, and within a week, her mornings became peaceful again. Sometimes health isn't about medicine. It's about small changes made with understanding. Let me tell you a small secret many doctors won't say out loud. Your dinner decides your morning. What you eat after sunset controls your blood's behavior during sleep. When you eat foods that are high in sodium, nitrates, or oxalates before bed, your body spends the night trying to manage them. Instead of resting, your kidneys and arteries stay busy. Your blood thickens slightly, circulation slows. And if you're unlucky, a clot forms quietly while you dream. That's why so many seniors have strokes early in the morning, between 5 and 7 a.m. It's not coincidence, it's chemistry. You might be wondering, if so many vegetables can be risky, what's left to eat? Don't worry, nature is still kind. You just need to choose foods that keep the blood calm, thin, and flowing freely. Cucumbers are one of my favorites. Light, hydrating, full of water and potassium. They help flush out sodium and reduce blood pressure gently. Zucchini works the same way, soft, easy to digest, and kind to the heart. Pumpkin is another wonderful option. It's full of magnesium, which helps relax blood vessels and prevent clots. Seniors who eat small servings of pumpkin a few times a week often notice their sleep improving and their morning energy returning. That's no miracle. It's the body saying thank you. There's also something special about tomatoes, but they must be eaten the right way. Fresh tomatoes, not fried or sauced, are rich in lycopene, a compound that protects the walls of your arteries. But if you cook them with too much oil or salt, that benefit disappears. Keep them fresh, clean, simple, and your heart will love you for it. Sometimes my patients ask me, "Doctor, why do these foods affect me now? I've eaten them all my life." And I always tell them, your body isn't the same vessel it was years ago. Your blood now moves through older pipes. The walls are more delicate. The balance between thickness and smoothness is more fragile. Imagine pouring the same water through a brand new hose versus an old one with tiny cracks. The pressure behaves differently. That's what aging does inside your body. The goal isn't to stop eating everything. The goal is to eat wisely. Earlier in the day, in smaller portions and with enough water. The golden rule for seniors is simple. Eat for energy in the morning, eat for peace at night. Heavy vegetables before bed take peace away. Let me share another story that stayed with me. A man named Peter, 69, came to me after having dizzy spells every morning. He thought it was low sugar. But when we looked at his meals, every dinner was full of green salads, spinach, kale, celery, and cabbage, sometimes even raw. His blood tests showed high oxalates and mild dehydration. I asked him to stop the nighttime salads and instead have a bowl of soup with soft vegetables like pumpkin, carrots, or zucchini. Within 3 days, his dizziness was gone. He told me, "Doctor, I wake up and my head feels light, like I can breathe better." Sometimes healing doesn't need more medicine, it needs smarter timing. If you truly want to protect yourself from stroke, the first step is to keep your blood thin and smooth. That doesn't mean thinner is always better, it means balanced. You do that by staying hydrated, avoiding heavy greens late at night, and adding foods that contain gentle, natural blood relaxers like garlic, turmeric, and ginger. These simple ingredients reduce inflammation and help your blood flow calmly through your vessels. I tell my older patients to think of their blood like a river. When the river flows too slowly, it builds mud and blocks. When it flows too fast, it erodes the banks. What you eat determines how your river behaves. Some foods calm it down, others make it restless. Your goal is a steady, peaceful flow. If you ever wake up with your hands tingling, your lips slightly numb, or your head heavy, don't ignore it. That's your river struggling. Don't reach for coffee right away. Drink water first. Let your body reset. And think about what you ate the night before. That small moment of awareness can save you from something far more serious. I know it's hard to change habits, especially ones you've had for years. But health after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about understanding. Once you understand how certain vegetables act in your body, you can make choices that protect you instead of hurt you. So tonight, when you sit down for dinner, look at your plate differently. Ask yourself, will this food help my blood flow easily while I sleep? Or will it make my heart work harder through the night? The answer is your guide. Your body speaks quietly but clearly. The dizziness, the tired legs, the short breath in the morning, they're not just age, they're messages. And if you start listening now, you can prevent the silence that follows a stroke. Remember, life after 60 isn't about restriction, it's about harmony. You can still enjoy your favorite foods. Just give your body the timing, hydration, and balance it deserves. Because your body has spent decades serving you faithfully. Now it's your turn to serve it back, with love, awareness, and care. And as we continue, I'll tell you about more foods that look safe but secretly affect your brain and blood flow. And I'll show you what simple foods can keep your arteries young, your mind sharp, and your mornings peaceful again. You know, the human body is such a quiet miracle. It tries to protect you every single moment, even when you make choices that hurt it. It repairs, it adjusts, it forgives. But after 60, that forgiveness slows down. The blood doesn't move with the same rhythm, the heart doesn't respond to stress as fast, and the arteries, they carry the memories of every meal, every late night, every drop of salt that entered your system. That's why now your health depends not on what's new, but on what you finally understand. When I tell patients that a simple vegetable can trigger a stroke, they often shake their heads. They say, "Doctor, I've been eating that since I was young. How can it be dangerous now?" And I always smile gently and say, because your body is older, but your habits are not. Your arteries don't have the same elasticity they once did. That means when a vegetable loaded with nitrates or oxalates enters your bloodstream, your body doesn't flush it out fast anymore. Instead, it lingers. It sticks. It quietly thickens your blood, tightening the flow, making your heart pump harder while you sleep. I remember one night, a call came from an elderly patient's son. His mother had fainted while praying at dawn. She wasn't sick, no chest pain, nothing, just fainted. When I met her in the hospital, her eyes were open, but her speech was slurred, a small stroke. When we traced her diet, she had been drinking beetroot and celery juice every night, thinking it would clean her blood. It did the opposite. It flooded her body with nitrates and salt at the wrong time of day. Her blood pressure rose while she slept. Her brain didn't get enough oxygen. It took only a few minutes for everything to change. That's how fragile the balance is. But don't let that story scare you. Let it guide you. Because your body gives warnings long before something serious happens. The problem is, we don't listen. That slight ringing in the ears, the heavy head in the morning, the occasional numb hand, all of it means something. It's your blood whispering, "I need space, I need flow, I need rest." And you can give it that by simply being wiser with what you eat and when you eat it. Some foods open your blood vessels, others tighten them. Garlic, turmeric, ginger, lemon, and cucumber are your allies. They help your blood stay smooth and your arteries relaxed. Some vegetables like spinach, beetroot, celery, kale, and cabbage can quietly do the opposite if eaten at night or in excess. It's not about fear, it's about balance. Eat them in the morning, and they nourish you. Eat them at night, and they stress your system. The same food can be a friend or a foe, depending on timing. I always tell my older patients, think of your evening meal as medicine, not as food. You don't need too many ingredients, you don't need colors and flavors, you need calmness. Warm, soft, hydrating foods that let your blood rest and your heart slow down. Pumpkin soup, boiled carrots, steamed zucchini, a touch of garlic, all of these are simple, safe, and kind. These are the foods that help you wake up with clarity instead of confusion. You see, stroke doesn't come from one day's mistake. It comes from 100 small choices done without awareness. That's why prevention is not about fear, it's about love. Love for your body, love for your breath, love for the mornings you still get to see. And the moment you start showing that love through mindful eating, your body starts healing itself. Slowly, quietly, beautifully. A woman named Maria once told me, "Doctor, I never thought vegetables could harm me. I was eating green every day." But when we changed her routine, greens in the afternoon, soft veggies at night, her blood pressure dropped, her sleep improved, and her morning headaches vanished. She called me 2 weeks later and said, "I didn't know feeling peaceful could feel this simple." And that's exactly what health is. It's not complicated science. It's quiet wisdom applied daily. You know what I wish for you? That you stop believing that health must be hard. That you stop forcing your body into rules made for younger people. After 60, your body doesn't need competition. It needs cooperation. It needs you to listen when it whispers, not wait until it screams. If you've been feeling tired after meals, or you wake up with a dry mouth, or you feel dizzy when you stand, those are early warnings. Your blood is thicker than it should be. It's struggling to move smoothly. And the first step to helping it is hydration. Water isn't just for thirst, it's for survival. Every sip helps your heart breathe easier. But if you drink water only when you feel thirsty, it's too late. You have to drink before your body asks. Seniors often lose their thirst reflex, which means dehydration creeps in quietly. That's how strokes start, silently. Another secret I'll tell you, temperature matters. Cold salads at night shock your blood vessels. They contract instantly, just like pipes reacting to ice water. That sudden narrowing raises pressure, even if your meal looks healthy. So instead of raw cold vegetables at dinner, go for warm, soft ones. Let your blood flow gently, not fight the chill. Every time you sit to eat, imagine your heart watching you. It beats, trusting that you'll feed it peace, not pressure. It's been beating for decades without asking for much. Now it just wants you to slow down, eat calmly, and rest early. When you look in the mirror tomorrow morning, look closely at your face. If your eyes look puffy, or your hands feel swollen, or your head feels heavy, it's your blood talking again. For it's saying, "Last night I worked too hard." Change that night's dinner, and you'll see the difference within days. I'm telling you this not as a doctor who's warning you, but as someone who has seen too many people learn this lesson too late. The stroke doesn't ask for permission, it just arrives, but your awareness can stop it before it begins. There's something deeply powerful about taking control of your plate. You become your own protector. Every choice becomes an act of healing. Every sip of water becomes a gift to your heart. Every gentle meal becomes a promise of tomorrow, and tomorrow, that's what this is really about. To wake up and see another sunrise without fear. To feel light when you stand. To smile because your body feels peaceful again. That's what you deserve. That's what I want for you. So tonight, before you sleep, promise me this. You'll look at your dinner with new eyes. You'll think not just about taste, but about peace. You'll drink a glass of water before bed and another one after waking. You'll respect your blood's rhythm, and you'll never again underestimate the power of timing, hydration, and understanding. Because sometimes the difference between a peaceful night and a silent morning is just one vegetable eaten at the wrong time. In the end, your body doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for understanding. The same vegetables that once gave you strength can now test your limits, but awareness changes everything. When you start eating with purpose, when you choose calm foods at night and let your blood rest instead of racing, your body begins to heal itself in silence. You sleep deeper, you wake clearer, your mornings become lighter, and your heart finally feels safe again. That's not a miracle. That's your body thanking you for finally listening. So remember this. Every meal is a choice, and a choice between stress and serenity, between confusion and clarity, between a restless night and a peaceful tomorrow. If you treat your food as medicine, your body will treat you with grace. Protect your blood, respect your timing, stay hydrated, and live each day as if your heart is watching, because it is. And when you care for it with love, even the smallest act, like skipping that late-night celery juice, becomes the reason you wake up to see another sunrise.